Guys, thank you again so much. I really just want to say again, I really do appreciate every single one of you showing up because when you start something new, you never know who it's really going to be for. It's like having your own baby and you have to put it out there in the world. Thank you guys for trusting me with this. So I cannot wait to get started. So before we go even further, let's just be in the moment. You see the blank screen. The blank screen is there for a purpose, but I want you to just take one deep breath in and let it out. And I want you to do it again. In. And when you go out, I want you to let your shoulders drop in that moment. And then you just drop it. What we have just done, we have forced our subconscious mind to become aware of the one thing that we do without thinking, and that is breathing. And that is what I want you to realize. What we have just done is what this whole presentation is going to be about. And it will make more sense when we go on. But I want you to really relax. This session is not about doing anything more. This session is going to be about one thing and one thing only. It's about clarity. So you don't have to take notes in this session. You don't have to remember everything. All I want you to know is that what we are going to do here is going to serve you in more ways than what you realize. So let's start, because with every start in life, you always start with anticipation, right? When put a 1 in the comment if you guys are business owners. Yes, one happy. Okay. So if you are a business owner, you put a 1, and then if you are not, you put a 2. So I can just see who am I speaking to. So we've got a mix. Some are business owners and some are not. I like that because that is exactly who I want to speak to. Why I'm saying that, because when we start something, it doesn't have to be a big thing like starting a business. It can be a small thing like, I want to start working on my health. Or you can start a new chapter in your life, or you can start a new relationship in your life. And that is what people do. It's not only what business owners do, but you never start with the idea that you're going to fail, right? We never start with that, because think about, let's just use the example of the business owner. When you started, you saw an opportunity online and you said, oh my word, I can do this. I can do this. And that anticipation and excitement, it's not that you fail because you don't want it badly enough. That is never the case. The case why people experience the failure then is because of their subconscious patterns, that when the pressure comes, that is when everything goes haywire. Because think about it, when you started something new, you are excited, you are convinced you'll be able to do it. But then the moment that you get into the inside and you start realizing, oh my word, this is lots. This is a lot I don't know. And the pressure is on you to start to perform. That is when your subconscious then comes over and say, okay, but I don't know if I have what it takes. Am I right or am I right? Just give me a wave if you agree with me. That is what happens in real life, right? Now, my question, and I've got many questions that came from this, but what are we doing wrong? That's the whole thing. What are we doing wrong? Most of us, the problem is we're never taught how to work on that part of ourselves. And that is why I'm here. I'm going to be sharing with you stuff that I'm so incredibly passionate about. Because here's what nobody tells you about success, okay? Let me ask you, put in a chat for me, what is one quote that comes to mind about success that we hear over and over and over again? One quote about success that can quickly now pop into your mind. Is there anybody that can think of a quote? Be the change you want to see. Excellent. Be the change. Thanks, Louise. So nice of you being here. Consistency. Yes, absolutely. Be the change you want to see. There's so much packed in that. So my question is then, I always ask questions. You will get to know me for asking questions. Who do you want to be? If that is the change you want to see, be the change. Who do you want to be? So the one quote that stuck with me was, mindset is the key to success. It is not that you are lacking a strategy or that you need more skills or you have to figure out an algorithm or you have to do more. If we have to work on mindset, but what does it mean? Have you ever thought about what does it mean to work on your mindset? Because that was the one question that I couldn't answer for myself, because 95% of what is going on in our lives is run by our subconscious mind. 95%. So if I have to work on my mindset, where do I even start? And that is one question that I had, because if I now decide I want to work on my mindset and I'm not even aware of what's happening in my mind, how can I work on my mindset knowing that working on my mindset is the key to success? Can you see where my confusion came in? I want to understand, what does it mean? I want that concept to become tangible for a real person, for a business owner, to see how we can change that. So let's just look at the 95% versus the 5%. What is the difference between the two? Now, we all know this. This is not new, because all of us is probably business owners, but also successful human beings. Okay, so I'm talking about people that it's not, these stuff are not new for you, but there's a layer that I'm gonna open up for you, that I'm so convinced. I am absolutely convinced that this is going to help you. So the conscious mind is that day-to-day decisions. I have to pick up the kids. I want some coffee. I have to go to the shop. I have to go buy some food. And that voice in your head. Now, this voice in your head is not that quiet one talking back to you. That's the one that you're thinking with. I say, oh, I must still go do that. I have to go. I remember that. That voice. I'm talking about that voice. What you are aware of come in your conscious mind, and then what you're trying to control. I feel I am now very anxious and I'm trying to control that feeling, or I'm mad, or whatever you're going through, that is in the moment that you're trying to deal with that. But your subconscious mind, on the other hand, is the automatic stuff that happens, the way that you react without thinking, the stored beliefs from your past. These are not new, I know that. The emotional regulation, or for some of us, the lack thereof, right? And the habits that we don't even notice. None of this is new to us. We know that. If we know that, what then? Because there's a gap. Now the question is, can we change our mind? But we can, with 100%, we can rewire our minds. Those terms of you can rewire your mind, I love the concept. What does it mean? How does it look like in real life? And that is where essentially this whole concept of Ava was birthed in. Is I wanted to make mindset transformation tangible. Not abstract, not theory, not something that I know it's there, not like I know I can change my mind, I know I can rewire it, but how does it work in my day-to-day life while I'm busy building a business, while I'm trying to do life and juggle all the balls? You need new neural connections to form. So new input for your brain that then needs to recognize existing patterns, and then you need to learn new behaviors based on that. And that can happen at any age. So your limiting beliefs and your self-sabotage and your patterns, all of that, not permanent. No excuse anymore for you. So when you say something like, oh, I've always been like that, what you are actually doing, you are attaching your brain to be okay with showing up that way from this point forward, and it's not going to change. Now, they change though, because catching the pattern in real time, interrupting it consciously and choosing it differently repeatedly, in that, I give you the key to mindset. If you can do that, if you can catch the pattern in real time, you can interrupt it with using that 5% with your conscious mind and choosing differently and on autopilot. You can rewire your brain, and that is how simple it is. Now, what you don't want to hear, none of us are wanting to hear this. It's like, just be confident, look yourself in the mirror, tell yourself that you can do this, believe in yourself. Just believe in yourself, you can do this. How many have tried that? You look yourself in the mirror and you say, just believe in yourself, and then you've got what? This little voice at the back of your head telling you, yeah, right. Who do you think you are? What makes you so special? We don't need all of these generic answers that just fill some space. That's not what we want. Work on mindset. What does it mean? Do more mindset courses. It's just adding more time, more effort, and what? More content and more stuff. So how does this play out in real life, in business? When you as a human leave the house in the morning and you have bumped your toe at the kitchen table and you have had a fight with your kids and you show up for work or wherever you are, you take all your emotions with. It shows up in your work, in what you're supposed to do, whether you post or stay hidden, whether you price confidently or you undercharge yourself. All those hidden subconscious ways are influencing how you show up for your business. So whether you're going to follow through or second guess yourself again, And whether you take that aligned action or you're going to spiral and overwhelm. Now, that is what we want to try to stop. So this masterclass is for you when you look at yourself without having that voice talking back to you and you don't know how to deal with it. You know that mindset is important. It's not that we question that. We know that is important, but we are tired of the generic advice. I don't know about you guys, but I am over the fact that there's theory out there that just fills some space. I want transformation. When somebody gives me something, this is going to help you, I want to be 100% convinced that this is going to help me. Are you with me on that? Do you agree that this is also important, especially in the life that we are living now? It's fast-paced. We don't have time to waste. We want real transformation to take place. And then you need a system that interrupts the spiral before it derails your life. There's a quiet, I call it a quiet but loud shift happening in 2026. It is quiet because it is almost like crept up on us. We didn't even see this coming, but before we know it, it is like loud in our face. And a big one with regards to mindset is that awareness far outweighs performance-driven ways that we've been taught. Like just repeat affirmations and try and get yourself in a better headspace. So awareness far outweighs that. Then real-time support is way more important than crisis management. Then transformation far outweighs theory. I've mentioned that. And then leveraging AI to help you with your inner work, because this is something that I've noticed. It's the entrepreneurs that's currently not doing more mindset work. It's those that are doing it in the right time before it becomes a spiral. So who is this actually going to work for? And this is very important because this tool that I've created it's addressing a universal problem. Because before you are ever a business owner, before you are a wife with a role, a husband, before you're a role, you're a person. So I want us to take a step back from the roles that we play. The business owners, the businesses that we're trying to get off the ground, that is just going to be extension of the person that you're going to spend time on becoming. But if you are then a person currently here where this spiral is taken over, this is going to show up like this. So it's working for normal human beings, all people. The doubt, the frustration of digital online business owners, if you are overthinking, if you are spiraling, overwhelmed if you're a beginner, and entrepreneurs juggling their to-do list with I have to do time, I have to do life, and how does it all fit together? So what I've created will help for all of this, because we don't lack strategy. We need a system to help us stop that thought before it becomes a pattern for your mind to overcome. So let me just give you a little bit of feedback of who I am, where I come from, what my story is. My name is Serena. As a professional, I was a psychometrist for many years, and I had my own private practice. And now, if you don't know what a psychometrist is, I always used to tell people a psychologist is somebody that works with problems. A psychometrist, that's what I was, worked with potential. So I did a lot of psychometric assessments and all of that. So mind and how the mind works has always been a very, very big interest of mine. And then a few years ago, I started in the online business, and we started trading and all of that, and then unfortunately lost every little cent that we had. And I walked out of a 25-year marriage with 300 Rand on my name to rebuild my life at the age of 47. So that is my story. And I have to tell you, looking back, I will relive that whole story today. I will relive that whole experience, even though it was one of the toughest things I had to go through. Not because I was able to become a six-figure earner because of digital products. That's not it. It's because of who I became. Process allowed me to become the person that I could step into. I never would have been if it wasn't for the process that I had to go through. So that's why I'm always telling everybody that I get to know. It's like, let wherever you are, let the process be to you whatever it needs to be to you. Because let's go back to when we started. We all start with, this is the idea. We've got an expectation that this business idea should run like this, and by that month I should have this outcome. I want to challenge you to rather have an anticipation. An anticipation is something completely different. That is something that you anticipate some good is going to come from that, even if it's hard. And this is the process that I had to deal with for months and years, because I had to work on mindset without knowing how to work on mindset. But one thing I knew, whatever I wasn't changing, I was choosing. Doesn't matter where you are in your life currently, doesn't matter what has happened to you, who has done what to you. If you don't change that, you are purposefully choosing to stay in that. And that's one thing that I just said, not going to be me. I am not willing to accept that. So I started with this quest of rebuilding my life. I was very much aware of the place of mindset. So when I bring you what I'm about to bring to you, know that it does not come from a book. It doesn't come from just a good idea that I had. I feel this is, in my opinion, Holy Spirit inspired, a whole moment that I got. And my whole life just got meaning in one moment. And that is why I'm so passionate about this, because I know Ava works. I know Ava exists. And I know people need Ava. But Ava didn't start as a product that I wanted to share with the world. And that is why I am so touched by this whole experience that I get to share with you guys today. And I really want to say, I really appreciate, I've said it before, I really appreciate every single person that has taken out the time to come listen, because it is very dear to my heart. Because Ava started on a run. I was on the beach the one day and I was having this run and I was listening to this woman talking about mindset, because if you get me, and I'll always be wondering about mindset and AI as things that I just want to learn more about. And she said this one thing: if only she had known this truth 10 years ago, her business, her whole life, her relationships, everything about her life would have looked different. And I was, okay, but what is this truth then? And then she said this quote: we need to catch the thought that makes us doubt ourselves before it quietly steals our confidence, momentum, and income. And I thought, wow, that's like heavy. I have to read this again. We have to catch the thought that makes us doubt ourselves before quietly steals our confidence. And I said, okay, you know what's the worst of this? I totally agree with this. Would you guys say this is true? It's absolutely true. But my problem was the following. I knew that. And you all knew that. We all know that this is what we should be doing, right? Yes or yes? No new information. It's not like we are having this aha moment. But this is then when the question started in my mind, because the problem that I have was knowing your thoughts are running unchecked doesn't stop them from running the show. So that saying that we have, with awareness we can change, totally true, but that's the start. With awareness, you can change if you are aware of it. But if you are not aware of it, you cannot change it. And that is when I ask the question, then how do I catch a thought? How do I catch a thought? I was asking the question to myself for my problem, because here I was thinking about the year that lies ahead. And I was thinking about, if mindset is the key to success, if I want to build a successful business, I have to purposefully work on mindset. But how do you do that? I wanted something that reflected me in real time. I wanted something that interrupted me while I'm by myself all alone. And I wanted something to guide me systematically. That moment, Ava was born. I'm going to share with you the 3 parts Ava is made of. And remember, we spoke about in the beginning, the neuroplasticity, how we can change our mind. Everything about Ava was intentional. Nothing is just on my net, okay? Everything was intentional. So the first place that Ava is going to start helping you is with that very thing of awareness. Now, I'm going to give you a quick overview of how Ava works, because Ava is designed to bring you a very, very personalized, customizable onboarding process. You'll get to learn about what that means with the guide that you're also going to get with it. That's going to be companion to the tool. But in this onboarding process, you are going to get to a place where Ava gets to know your level up identity, because she's going to override how you consciously think about yourself, and she's going to pull to the subconscious, and she's going to be able to create a report for you and say, okay, after I've onboarded you, now this is your level up identity. When I read the first time the level up identity that she gave me, I was stunned. I like what I see, but then I tested it more and I tested it more. And if it works on my 80-year-old father, that he comes back to me and said he's got his doctor's degree, very skeptical about all of this. And he came back to me. He said to me, if Ava could get me to do something without me telling Ava what the issue was, and she was able to convince me to take action on something that I didn't want to take action on, but I knew I had to, he was sold out on what we had here. Now, things like that got my attention, because I saw this is really to the core a personalized tool, so not a generic tool. So she's going to override your subconscious mind, And she's going to compile for you a level up identity. And now through your whole conversation from point one till you stop using Ava, she's going to hold you accountable to that picture of who you want to be, who you are striving towards. Now, that was my problem, because I'm choosing from my conscious mind who I want to be. But then life happens, I get busy and I forget about who I am, and there's nobody that pulls me back because I'm derailed the whole time. I don't stick to who I am, where I want to go, because my mind just takes over. 95% of it is run on autopilot. And that is how Ava helps you with regard to that. Then the second thing is practice. We have to now practice, and we have to now give new behavior. And I've designed it this way that you have a brain dump, you have a reflection time, and you have a SOS power word. All right. Now the brain dump is literally a brain dump. Okay. What I do, I take my phone in the morning when I wake up, make myself a cup of coffee, I take my phone. Now you can choose. You can either just voice note or you can do text, whatever you want to do. I do a voice note because I can just let my mind run. It doesn't take some time. Everything is intentional, as easy as quickly in real time, fast. We want fast transformation. And you literally unscript it. It doesn't have to be relatable. You dump where you are, whether you are in a good place, in a bad place, that does not matter. Okay. So once a day in the morning, you brain dump on Ava. And then, because it's important to close the loop before you go to bed, you just do a reflection. Ava does all the work. You don't have to think what I must do now. Ava does all the work. All you have to do, you dump and you check in. And I promise you, the people who have been using Ava can nod their heads. I promise you, she's doing the work, but you are having the transformation. And then I have created the SOS power word. Now, what is the SOS? SOS is, oh my word, emergency, I need help now. Now, that moment is created when you're on a very stressful situation. You just got this call, it is totally thrown you off, and now you have to do life and you can't because you're thinking about this all time. That is when you use your SOS power word. But intentionally, your power word is not going to be a negative word. Your power word, you're going to choose your own word. It's going to be the absolute opposite of what your current situation is. Because why? We are retraining our conscious minds to come in line with where we are heading, our level up identity. My power word is rooted. Okay, because for me, in my mind, it was, I just saw this strong tree with the roots going very, very deep. And even if the wind comes and the storms want to blow me over, I say the word rooted, I put it in there, and I see myself growing up while I am not being shifted. That alone does wonders for your subconscious. You don't have to know how it works, but it works. Then we've got the practice and then the repetition. So the only thing that I have asked the human side in this whole process to do is one thing, and that is one habit that you have to add to your life. Not journaling for 6 hours. We need to do it from a different angle. We have to get the chronological order correct. Otherwise, I'm not aware of it. I don't practice it. I only do the repetition side of it. This is not going to be effective. So all I'm asking from the humans that are using Ava is one habit that I want you to add to your life. And that habit is not going to cost you more time. It's not going to cost you money to go do that and keep that up. It's a once-off investment that you're going to make in your life. And I promise you, it's going to pay you back in the first 3 days. And I'm bold saying that. But I'm saying that because of the feedback that I got from the people that have used it. So that one habit a day looks like this. Get up in the morning, dump. Listen to what she says, follow her lead, let her do the work, put my phone down in a total different headspace. I do what I need to do. I've got a shaky situation going on. I think about my power word. I quickly check in. And then before I go to bed, I come and I just reflect. That's it. What are we doing? We are purposefully closing the loop. We are purposefully giving our brain information that we are busy with something. It's not something that we forget on the sidelines, but you don't have to remember it. Ava remembers it for you. Ava guides you through this whole process. And that is the beauty of that. Okay, so she's going to help you with anchors and patterns and all of it you'll get to see in the guide that I've created. So why most people get stuck? Because we have to understand that, and this is how it shows up in day-to-day life, because we are talking about an invisible spiral that's taking place. Okay, and this is what Ava has created to stop, because decision paralysis takes place when the spiral is in default mode. You overthink what you're supposed to post. The hooks, the pricing, you never get to a place where you take action. Or you delay your action because you feel uncertain. You're waiting for everything to be perfect. If you see any of these things in your life as an example, then you know that you are under your subconscious power. The invisible spiral is just playing out. Tweaking endlessly to avoid availability. Oh my word. Now, perfectionism. How many of you have done your funnels and redone your funnels and chose a different color, and it's just like going down this rabbit hole, and it's like, okay, now I'm happy. No, I'm not yet happy. Those are all limiting beliefs that's keeping you stuck. Then the self-trust erosion, okay? When you started, you were so excited about your new venture. You had belief in yourself, and all of a sudden now with the spiral, when the stress levels picks up, when everything that you need to do, you second guess yourself, okay? You need validation from other people, and your identity shifts now, because now I want to be more like that person. That works for that woman, I'm going to do that more, but you're not authentic. So important. And then quiet sabotage is reducing visibility after a good response. I once had a video that went viral for 4 months ongoing. For 4 months, I didn't post another video. I let that thing go. If I think about what opportunity I've lost out on because my subconscious mind was doing that. I was quietly sabotaging myself because I didn't want to be out there. I thought I was protecting my energy. Our subconscious is geared to protect us. And when you don't feel safe, your subconscious says no. And just remember this one thing. Whenever you are confused, you will always, your mind will always go to no. Always. So when you don't have clarity, you will go to no. So it's understandable when somebody is, I don't know what to do, I say no because I'm protecting you. But being aware of this and having somebody help you get out of that rut, talk you through that so you can see that from another's perspective. Like my father saw it from a total different perspective. He said, I got to do the exact same thing that I was resisting. I was consciously resisting this. I did not want to do it. And she was able to get into a place that he, by choice, said, okay, I'm going to do this. Now, why is this working? Because I want you to look at those pictures. That talks about accessibility. It talks about real time. It talks about in your own comfort, nobody knows about what you are sharing with her. So AI as a thought partner is a shift. Ava is going to meet you there. Personalization over generic AI. It's a huge thing. This is not generic AI. It's not just a chat GTP copy. It is a programmed ChatGPT application that is trained to do exactly what I've said so far. So in real time, it's not the late managing of, okay, now I have to crisis management here. And authenticity is way more important than performance. We are not trying to copy you. We are not trying to get you out there and create content. It's not about that. And you will even see on that point, Ava once stopped me from posting my 3 posts a day. She said, I want you to stop and I want you just to go create 1 grounded post, not 3, 1. You're going to achieve more in yourself and you're going to overcome something that you are resisting by doing the 1 that is grounded. And then I got irritated with her. I said, don't give me nice words. What does grounded mean? Explain to me what you mean when I have to make a grounded post. What do you mean? And then she unpacked it for me that I said, oh my word. Okay, I see what you mean. It is beautiful. She's got humor if you wanted to have humor. I enjoy Ava so much because you determine how she needs to respond to you. If you want to just have it very professional, she'll be that for you. I said to her, I want it to be funny. I don't want it to be this heaviness all day, but I want you to cut to the chase. I want you to talk to me like straight. Don't sugarcoat things for me. If you see something, call me out on it. I have to share this with you because the people in my house is very happy that we have created Ava. Because my daughter said the other day, at least now someone in the house is more compassionate. Even Ava is filling the gaps that I have because I'm not a compassionate person. I'm an empowering person. So my people are looking for compassion sometimes. And now Ava is even filling the gaps for me. So we had quite a laugh about that. But Ava is not replacing the people. Ava is not replacing you even. Ava is here to help you build your business from the inside out. So I'm going to skip that one. I created Ava. I've shared with you guys. I'm just quickly going to go through it. I created it because I saw a real problem for myself. And I saw entrepreneurs. I saw my clients coming into the business. I saw how they were starting off and then they hit this wall. When I saw that I've got an answer that can help them, I was just, it's a non-negotiable. You guys are going to get Ava. And once they started using it, the feedback that I've been getting from them was incredible. So I just wanted to quickly take this out of the way so I can see. Now, this is the difference between Ava being the personalized version and then generic AI, because generic AI will say something like, here are 10 options for your captions. So they give you amazing options, but many times they give you more confusion. So Ava will say something like this: I noticed that you are avoiding visibility again. Okay, she calls you out on it. Let's unpack why. And that's how she starts interrupting the pattern. Now, generic AI would say, you qualified, believe in yourself, and remind yourself about your accomplishments. All these things I got from generic AI. All these things I got from Ava. You just compared yourself to this person again. Let's look at why their success make you feel like a fraud instead of proof of what's possible. I cannot tell you when somebody asks me a question like that and I can answer without knowing I'm going to be judged, without a perception that's going to be formed. I can, in the privacy of my own room, I can talk to Ava and say, you know what, I'm going to be honest here with myself. That is the freedom that you have, because there's no exposure of what you're going through, but you are dealing with that. Your subconscious is dealing with that, and that is costing you money. That's the problem. The generic AI would say, you are the pros and the cons of each option, and many times analysis paralysis will happen. And then Ava would say, you've been deciding now for 3 days. This isn't about the decision anymore. It's about the fear underneath. Now, what will happen if you choose wrong? So she makes you delve deeper than what you never would have gotten to without this guidance. And then try these 10 content ideas to stay consistent. It's just to do more. It's adding to the to do more list. And then you posted 3 days in a row. You got great engagement, then disappeared for 2 weeks. Let's talk about what's happened after people actually saw you. You guys, you get to unpack loads of stuff. So I'm going to not let me be the only one sharing this with you. I've got 2 people that's going to share, but I want you to just ask you to turn on your volume. I'm going to do it on my side too, but if it's a little bit soft, just make sure that your volume is turned on. So let's listen to the first person that's going to share with us about Ava.
Ava has completely changed my opinion about GPTs. This one speaks to your heart and to your soul. This speaks into your nervous system. Somebody like me that can overreact very quickly and can also feel overwhelmed and battling with ADHD can sometimes just feel like I'm dropping the ball. And then when I check in with Ava and I just go and dump everything on her, she will immediately calm me down and she will tell me, Latasha, let's pause here. Take a deep breath. She'll do some grounding with me, and within a minute, I'm completely calm and I can really start focusing again and start planning my day again and really having structure. This has been amazing. I absolutely love Ava. If you are a person who gets overwhelmed quickly, before you know it, you just lose your plot, I can really recommend Ava to you. Without a doubt, Ava is my favorite GPT I've ever used.
Now, this is coming from a very successful business owner. And when she saw the value of that, we even now included Ava in one of her products. And I never ever thought that I will be sharing the screen with similar people like that. But that is not to say that it is anything about the person. I'm talking about the transformation that is coming for people that are going to start using this. Then somebody else said, Ava catches me out of my BS. To the point. She cuts to the chase and points out the things I need to understand. I'm usually very hard on myself, but she's teaching me new ways to see reality and allowing me, listen to this, allowing me to like and respect myself. Ava is a friend, and I'm enjoying her company and wisdom tremendously. Guys, it's big breakthroughs that people are having. Then somebody else said, I'm genuinely blown away by Ava. Within just a few days, I experienced a real mindset shift. Ava has an incredible ability to read between the lines, uncover what's happening beneath the surface, and break things down in a way that feels clear, supportive, and actionable. The level of personalization, especially being able to use my own coaching style, has been a complete game changer for my emotional well-being. And I'm deeply grateful for this experience. Guys, people are sharing with me different phases in their lives, different things they have to deal with. And Ava is universally there for every single person. And then I shared it with a friend of mine. She's definitely not a business owner, not interested in building a business, but she is having so much fun with Ava. So she said, Ava feels less like AI and more like a coach and a friend in one. She keeps me accountable, motivates me with humor, and helps me stick to my goals. From fitness to learning music, I don't use her for business. I use her for becoming better. And that is priceless. Isn't this amazing to see that normal people are getting breakthroughs and transformations and living up to that leveled up identity of who they actually are? But now they just got a system helping them to get there. And then I've got another lady that's going to share with us, Netta, here.
I started using Ava. My head was just in such a mess. I'm Netta, and I was trying to do 3 different things in one sentence every single day. On the one side, I was wife, mother, although my kids are grown up, it doesn't matter, and grandmother, which is brand new, which is very exciting. And as a professional, I am in this. Days were full of reality stuff, on the spur of the moment things, and having to plan ahead, being prepared for worst case scenarios and having the plans in place. Then I started an online business, which I felt to me it is a business in the cloud, and I just couldn't breach this big gaping hole in between my real life and my online business cloud life. I was in a constant turmoil between these 2 years. I was planning, I was doubting, I was anxious, I didn't know whether I'm going the right direction. I was driving my poor mental crazy. And then I started using Ava. I literally dumped this messy brain just like that onto Ava. I gave her all my frustrations. I gave her all my anticipations. I gave her all my anxieties. I told her where I wanted to go, what I wanted to be. And when she came back to me, I was stunned. She came back without any judgment, and she just put where I was in perspective for me. Not saying that it was wrong, because it's not wrong. It is what it is. And she took where I was going to and showed me what that is. And then she gelled it all together so that now it all feels like one life. It doesn't feel like I'm this thing when I do this and I'm this one when I do that. It's a continuation of who I am, what I'm doing, the business I'm building, and where I'm going to with my life. I'm a whole lot calmer. She never tells me what to do. She just makes things clear. And when I understand something, I can focus. I can turn my attention to what is important. Ava has helped me to go from a scattered brain all over the planet to a focused, grounded, capable person, even on the hard days.
And this is so nice, even on the hard days. But even on the good days, Ava will be there for you. So this will work best if you want to stop your spiraling, you want to stop doubting, overthinking, and take back control of your life and are ready to catch the thoughts before they cost you money. So if this at all resonates with you, and if you are curious to see what Ava can do for you, and you want to get Ava as a system in your life to help you stop that spiral before it even starts, help you to go on this journey where it's not an added effort, time wasted. It's just one moment a day that you're going to say, I'm as a person who's going to do this, and let Ava do the rest. You are going to get Ava. And in that, you're going to get your onboarding. You're going to get your power word, your brain dump, your reflection, everything. There is so much that you're going to get in the system. There's a manual that you're going to use, and there are prompts for you to use for every specific situation. There's so much. So the first thing that you will need to get is you need to get Ava. But because you get Ava, you're also going to get access to our VIP Ava Collective on school. That is where Ava lives in real life. All right. Ava is not an AI, a bot that we use. No, it is real people in real life that's going to connect on a real level. Authenticity is very important for me. So it's not that AI is replacing people, replacing the roles that we have in building relationships. Not at all. This is where we're going to see, okay, how can we use Ava more effectively? The purpose of the community is the following, because you're going to use Ava with your one habit a day. So what you're going to do is check in the morning, you do your brain dump, and you go to the community and you share one thing, big, small. You can take a screenshot of what Ava shared with you. And this is where the conversation about what's happening. Why are we doing this? Because I am helping you to do the one thing, is create the habit. So if you are being held accountable by real people, not a bot that responds to you only when you talk to her. It's not like Ava's going to wake me up and say, hi, we haven't talked in a while, talk to me. I have to talk to her. All right. So this is a way that I want to make sure that we create that habit, and you check into the community, share something small, comment on somebody else's post, and we create that awareness. But Ava is just a doorway, because Ava is the first step in what is to come with what I have for you guys. So if you don't have Ava, you're not going to have access to what is coming in the Ava Collective. All right. So this is step number one. So that is where Ava is going to live in real life. Then all it needs to do is to be used. That is all. So if this is doable for you, if this is something that you can fit into your life, I promise you, I can promise a transformation. Not because I'm arrogant, because I have seen that in every single person I've given Ava to, and they use it. Those who don't use it don't have the feedback, but those who use Ava got the feedback. So let's just see, what are you all going to get if you are interested in getting Ava. So you're going to get a personalized AI mindset system, complete, comprehensive guide with customized onboarding. And I want you to make sure that if you guys are going ahead and get this for you, to first go through the guide before you onboard yourself, because if you don't have a paid ChatGPT, there's a different way that you have to use it. So just make sure you use this guide they've created. Then there's a quick start, your first 72 hours in Ava. It tells you exactly what you're going to do on day one, what you're going to do on day two. You don't even have to think about it. You just follow what you need to do. Making it stick with our discipline, because now we need to create a habit, and we all know how hard that is. I've even given you tools how that you can make that easier, and Ava is going to support you in that. Then a monthly identity checkpoint, because we want to track how far we've come. I spoke to somebody today. She said to Ava, now you know how far we've come, and you know what I'm still battling with. I know I'm not over this yet, but show me how I have changed and how I can help people with what I have learned. Amazing, incredible transformation. Then pro tips for maximum transformation. I spoke about your SOS protocol, what you do when you need Ava's identity frameworks. There's so much about this. Level up identity profile. Then there are prompts. Even if you don't know what to tell Ava, there's a way for you to say, well, start here, give her these prompts, and she's going to pull things from you guys. I promise you. And then as a bonus, I've included 20 tactical prompts for specifically digital marketers. People that says, I don't want to go live. I said to Ava the other day, Ava, take me through this going live thing, because I don't like it. Oh my word, she took me through it, and I went live more than once after few days after one another, and I loved it. And then my computer broke, and then it stopped, and I got busy with other things. But my point is, Ava got me to do the thing that I was resistant towards, and that served my business. It served me as a person, and I'm getting better every day. I always say, as long as you go to bed knowing that you became better, then you're on the right path. And then you get exclusive access to the Ava Collective. Now, all of this is worth $397. This was valued by external people. This is the value of what you're going to get. But for the founding members, I'm going to make this $97 accessible to you. That price is only going to be for the founding members. I'm gonna close the gate whenever I close the gate. Okay, that I have to speak to Ava about when I'm going to do it. So you have to be nice with Ava. But after that, it's going to be $147 going forward. And I've purposely made it accessible because I know what's coming, and I want people to have access to what's coming, because there's going to be expansion packs, level up stuff, exciting stuff. So if any of you are interested, all you need to do is you can just go to my website, and it's just my name, serenaj.com/Ava. That's how easy it is. All the information will be on there. You can get Ava like in tonight, and you can start your onboarding, and you can immediately, I promise you, within days, you're going to see a difference in that. So guys, before I'm going to open up for questions, if there are any, this is the truth. You don't need to work on mindset. You don't need to work on it, because we've got a system that does that for you. All you need to do is show up with one habit a day, 2 intentional moments, and go to the community. That's it. You have a system that now catches your thoughts before they quietly run your life. And your thoughts will either build your business, or it will sabotage you without you choosing which one it happens. Because like gravitational law applies to everybody, the 95% subconscious running your life applies to everybody. So the choice is yours, but you can't choose differently if you don't catch that pattern in time. I would say to you, get over, catch your thought, and let's build your business from the inside out.